our topics may not be related to each other. We are preparing it reactively. What is functional interfaces? Can anyone answer that in the chat? Just put a chat messages. I will build from there. So here Ashutosh has already answered. He says functional interfaces are the interfaces which will have a single abstract method. Interfaces which contains only one method. Very good. I think we will stop with this. Okay. Now Ranga Reddy answered interface which contains only one method. Okay. But I think as an interviewer, I will be impressed with what Ashutosh said. Ashutosh's answer was very precise. He said single abstract method. So with Java 8, you can have default methods also. If you have default methods, it doesn't matter. Say for example, in my screen, you see selection interface. It has eSelected, that is an abstract method, but it doesn't stop me from creating another method which has return type required. Okay. So the correct definition is you have only one method that is abstract. All the other methods that are not that are like, it can be defaults also. If you can give this answer to the interviewer, probably it will be better. So as we go along with the sessions, what we will do is we will not just say separate interview questions or as such, but I will give you the questions that will have two answers, a normal answer and then precise answers. We will take it as we go along. So I hope this will be useful when you attend the interviews. Okay, now to get into the today's session. Now we have two things. Let us start with this functional programming. Okay, when I said functional programming last week itself, I gave an intro like what is functional programming. Can anyone tell me what is the difference between our traditional way of programming and functional programming? How this program talk to each other? What is the significant difference that functional programming makes? It's not like functional programming is something new to Java. You are doing it for quite some time. If I go by the definition that we put already, programs tend to talk to each other through attributes. Is much like declarative programming. Facilities behavior parameterization. Exactly. So I would say Vinayak's answer, Vinayak, you answered it privately, but anyway, I'll just read out the answer. Functions become first-class citizens. Our functional programming facilitates behavior as a parameterization. Functional programming is declarative programming. But the declarative programming is not the correct answer. I will tell you why. When you complete this session, you will understand why I say that. So the correct answer would be, typically programs communicate with each other with attributes. When I say attribute, I will just recollect whatever we said last time. So we see things as types. For example, car is a type. Car has wheels, that is attributes. Car can move, that is behavior. Okay, so if you can talk to each other programs by passing attributes, that is a traditional programming. But if you can pass your behaviors, that is the place where functional programming is coming into picture. In fact, that is what we mean when we say functions as first-class citizens in the language. Logic can be extracted into function, higher level of a building block. But if, from a layman term, this is what we are going to do. We are going to transform our behaviors across the programs to achieve in a final output. That is what we are going to do. Now let us consider the existing program itself. So consciously, I'm doing this step. The types that I introduced you in the first session, that is people. I introduced about person, employee, manager, and then I added just company. We will keep with these people alone for even upcoming sessions. The reason being, I don't want to introduce new types for new use cases. We will just take the types, but we will try to learn as much as possible. Rather, we take a bigger model and then learn something smaller. We will take a smaller model, but we will try to learn everything that is possible out of them. We'll squeeze it out. So the idea is now, in fact, today we are going to be very, very specific to only one person here. That is the person class. So this is person. Now let us describe a person. So when I say describe a person, as I told, whenever I read class, you read it as type. So whenever you see something like a class, if you see class, you say type. Now if you see a variable, this is attribute. I will repeat this for some time, but later in that I will not repeat, because I just want to set a common language. So this is what we mean by behavior. So if you can pass attributes, that is traditional programming, but if you can pass behaviors, then that is, say for example, functional programming. And the answer of Java 8 enables us to do functional programming may not be accurate, because even before previous version of Java, we used to do functional programming. That is what we are going to do. Now I'm going to take a very simple case here. There were some requests from people about can you also explain about design patterns, as these questions will be coming in the interviews. Just keep answering for what is the design pattern. I just want to understand what is the design pattern. So if anybody can answer me, answer what do you think a design pattern? We will go through that later. But now we'll just continue with this. So I have a person, and I'm going to make a strategy of this person is attending an interview, and the interview depends on company to company. Each company will have different strategies, and they are going to say, okay, my strategy is this. So basically it's going to be the same person. We are going to talk about a so and so person, and this person has so and so attributes, and this person is attending an interview, and then we are going to say whether this person is selected or not. That is the idea. Now I'm having a person, he has attributes like whether he is committed, whether he has communication skill, what is the mark that he scored, he is coming from a good college or not. These are all the attributes. For some strategies, some attributes matter, some attributes doesn't matter. So that is going to differ. That we don't have any idea at the point of writing your program. So how do you do that is you define your strategy as a selection strategy. So what do you expect out of a selection strategy is something that is going to take a person, analyze his attributes, and it is going to say whether the person is selected or not. That is what it is going to say. Now this is what I put it as an interface, and then I put an abstract method here. First company, they consider always mark that matters. So they think that anybody who is more than 80, who scored more than 80% of the mark, they are all selected. They are all very good engineers. They will be selected. That's what they are thinking. Now, instead of using println, I used format. This will be very, very useful if you are taking a session or something like that, because it is not just going to be just a print, right? You are going to make it dynamic. Otherwise, you need to do, say, for example, the difference between this is if you want to put the same output, what I will do is I will say person space is plus. So I want to say whether it is he is selected or not. Is selected. Okay. Now let us run this. So and so is not selected. We'll come to that strategy why he is not selected. But before that, so the difference between this and this is it is just a syntax. But thing is, it makes your life a little easier. It's better to use format, because this is what you are going to use when you are using logger and all those stuff. So format is something like C style, where I say percentage yes, my first parameter is a string, is selected or not, that is also a string. Then I say percentage yes comes here, so I can put it easily. That's the idea. Okay, now we are getting into the strategy. So the first strategy that we applied, it says a person is not selected because this guy is not having good marks. But there are some other strategists in some other companies. They think that if the person is from a reputed college, then he is selected. Who cares about mark, because he is coming from some good college. So that's a strategy. So here we are going to change the strategy. We are going to change the strategy in the sense we are going to change the behavior. That's what you need to consider. Okay, college matters. With this strategy, the person is attending the interview in this company, and the company says, good, person is selected. Okay, so now what we did, we just changed the final output by passing a behavior. Do I need Java 8 for that? Not at all. I'm not using Java 8. Okay, so functional programming is not in syntax. Don't take that it is coming from your syntax that Java 8 supports functional programming and then Lambda expression supports functional programming. Functional programming is a mindset first. The way that you articulate your program, that is what matters. Okay, now if Java supports this functional programming earlier itself, why should we have something like Java 8 now? What is that it is going to add to us? I want audience to answer me this question. What is the purpose of design pattern for the candidate? What is the purpose of design pattern for the candidate? You can put your honest answers there. We will come to that again. One of our friend already understood what is the design pattern that we used. This pattern is called strategy pattern. Okay, just note down this word strategy pattern. It has a strong relationship with functional programming that we'll see later. Okay, now coming back to the session. So this is functional programming, but what is Java 8 is going to give? Before we go to Java 8, let me consider. Okay, here if I want to add a behavior, I need to create a class and then I need to implement it. Should I do that? Because I'm going to come up with some dynamic strategy. So I'm going to think about a dynamic strategy. So selection. So you think that no, I'm not going to go with whatever rules that you say. I will make my own rules. That is the new generation approach. Then okay, fine. You want to make a dynamic strategy. Okay, this is the whole purpose that Java 8 comes into picture. If anybody says that not so, because it is not something that is new to Java, you can always do this, where you say, I don't care whether he is committed, whether he is coming from good college or having good marks or something like that, as long as the person is committed. So now he is not coming from good college, he is not having good marks also. Now our old strategy where we have said college matters, he is going to say so and so is not selected, because all that our current strategy of college matters worried about whether you are coming from a reputed college. I don't go by this rule, so you want to change this rule, and I am very dynamic person, so I'm changing it to dynamic languages. So dynamic programming. So here it is coming. Okay. Now with my dynamic strategy, I want to make sure that this so and so person is committed. I want to get him selected. Okay. Now, do I need Java 8 to make programming dynamic? No, that is also that. It is called anonymous classes. Okay, so anonymous classes is there for quite some time. Okay, so now all the assumptions that Java 8 supports functional programming, with Java 8 you can do dynamic programming. No, you can do it earlier also. Only thing is that it is made easy in our case. That's all that we have done. That's all. So now let us consider what we try to do. Do I need to implement the selection strategies, college matters, mark matters, and all those stuff as a strategy, or I want to give it something like I want to give it as we go along? That is what I want to do. So how Java supports that is, I am going to say I do not have something called selection strategy now. Now we are getting into Java 8. I'm going to delete that anyway, and I'm not going to create this strategies at all. So this is Java 8, concise code, smaller amount of code, all that now coming in picture. Now I'm going to person. Sorry, new possibilities. Okay, I do not have anything like that. My program is not working. I do not want to create my own classes. Can anybody give me which is useful to do the same thing in core Java? All that I'm going to say is, my selection strategy is nothing but it is going to predicate whether he is selected or not. So I'm going to say predicate selection strategy. That's all that I need to pass. What is predicate? From now onwards, every time we see a session, we will see the code itself. So the best way to learn open source is to open the source. This feature is there in all your IDs. Every time you want to learn Java, just control click on that, you can see the exact class. So this is a functional interface. So this is predicate. So what is the predicate is doing is, you can give test, that is the abstract method. So you can pass the object and then it will tell you whether that object returns true or false. That is the idea. So that change. So my selections. Okay, I go to person. I made it as predicate. IntelliJ, you can create getters and setter with this. Getters and setters. I select predicate. Now that is created. I go to set selection strategy. This is going to be predicate. For predicate, you are going to pass, say, person, whatever object that you pass. I will say, because it is going to be person of O. So what is our dynamic logic of selecting a person? Get committed is our dynamic logic. So not instead of is selected, I'm going to say test. So now the so and so person is going to be selected. Okay. Now we want to improve this program further. There is some problem here, I think so. What is this problem? The selection strategy is going to select person, right? But this guy is accepting anybody. That's not going to be anybody, right? It is going to be only person. What do we do for this? So someone answered generic. So we are going to apply generic. So where are we going to apply generic? Let us again see this predicate. Predicate accepts this type. Predicate is going to be a generic object where it says, okay, which one that I need to predicate. Tell me what is that type also. So that we can say here, it is not just a predicate. It is going to be predicate for a person. Wow. Okay, so we improved the program. So we are not changing the output, but we just keep improving the program. Now also we get the same output. Okay, can we further improve this? I think IntelliJ has an idea. It raised a bulb here. So let us see what is that bulb. It is replace with lambda. What do I do? Okay, it changed it to one line now, and the output remains same. Okay, so and so selected. Okay, now if I want to change this to something else, like if I want to implement college matters, all that it matters now is you go here, get listed college. Now you see this person will be selected. Okay, so now what we learn now is functional programming is not new to Java 8. It is there for some time, and we were supporting it with a pattern called strategy pattern for quite some time. In fact, this strategy pattern is what you use in dependency injections for when you inject your dependencies. Again, if you take one step back, this again goes to the type system where you have two relationships, is a relationship and has a relationship. So strategy pattern is more about having a has a relationship. That's what we do here. And what all that we do is when we say has, earlier has had only for attributes, but now we can pass even behaviors. That is the power that Java brings in. Now here also you can say an alternative syntax is Boolean my own function, and that accepts, say for example, person and person, and you are going to say committed communication skill. You are going we are going to implement another logic where we are going to say independent of whether he has skill coming from a good college, marks, committed or not, I don't care. As long as he can speak, then I will take him. There are some strategies like that. So I'm going to implement that strategy where I'm going to say get communication skills. Okay, now I want to put this strategy. He is not committed. He's not coming from good college, he's not having good marks, but he's having good communication skill. I want him to be selected now, but now it is not selected. Okay, how we are going to do is, that is lambda is 1, but then I can also say person dot set selection strategy. This I can pass my own function. So I'm going to change the strategy. Debugger here. This time I done with debug. This is function references. This is just another syntax. You are passing your functions because you already have a function. So it is asking this guy, and then he says person is selected. This is called function references. So don't focus on the syntax, focus on the idea. If you stick with the idea, then functional programming will come really, really handy. This is about introduction to functional programming. We will go in detail later, but don't think that functional programming is complex or something like that. If you can change your mindset, you are going, I mean, it's not like only thing that we need to think is something that we are doing it in a relatively a complex manner. We are going to do it in a simple manner. And that power comes because of the lowest level of passing and talking through the program through behaviors. That's the idea. So this is about functional programming, a basic introduction.
Satish, I have pinged the link also where people can see the performance difference of Lambda expression over the anonymous class or other old style of way to write. So yeah, people can go through the document if they really want to understand that. That's a Java micro harness benchmarking. If they really want to understand, we can have a session for that. I mean, we can see how the performance increase when the number of hits, I mean, when the method become hot, how the performance increase. So we can discuss definitely that.